Hey everybody, we are. Hey everybody, we are live. How are you?
You don't
We
need
have
that
a
other guy.
Nah, we have special stuff to go over after this is over. I won't be able to see how many people. Oh, there he is. I can't hear him again. I have a real sensitive, touchy-feely mouse pad going on over here.
Hug Joe.
Us three, we're sitting there hanging out with the Blue Crab, and we're hanging out in Baltimore a little bit. We'll get to Baltimore maybe later on, but we're Baltimore'd out for about a few minutes, and we want to talk a little bit about what we guys read, because this was a very big week. I mean, it's a middle of the month week, and usually this is a week where a lot of good stuff came out. I'm going to shout out one thing that I picked up. Thank you, Cullen Bunn, for the Harrow County hardcover fourth volume 4 is on its way. So I was very excited to get that, and I didn't know the hardcover was coming out this week, and I was real excited. But that's pretty much it. All my other books, you guys can I mean, I have a bunch of other books coming. Not a bunch, like just my normal small little pull list of stuff.
Well, I will definitely be disappointing you, JD, by saying that I've decided not to get King Thor 2.
Oh man, wow.
I did the hard pass. It was like, okay, you know what? I'll read the trade or I'll read it on Unlimited. Like I need to control it. And that was the book that got cut this week.
In the words of my co-anchor from Comic Cast on Sundays, he said if we're on Men on Living Color, Men on Film, we'd say trade. If you get that joke, that 90s reference. But yeah, this is what I picked up today.
You got to be a certain age to get that joke.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you got to be 30 plus, bro. We got Detective Comics, the newest one from Tomasi. Is this the first Mrs. Freeze cover?
I think I Googled it. Saying that, cover-wise,
it might be.
Yeah, cover-wise, it's the first, but like she's in the previous issue, right at the very end.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She's been in multiple issues, but she is the last issue, sure. But that might be the first Mrs. Freeze cover. So I had to get it no matter what. Had to support my man Tomasi. Yo, you guaranteed I'm getting Criminal every single time I can get a chance. Number 9 coming out. I'm pretty sure this is the same characters from the very, very first volume of Criminal. So a little throwback there going on. Pretty cool. Nice. And if you're not familiar with
Jason,
Criminal,
I do apologize. You usually don't have anything to show when you talk.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it kind of shocks me. So would you mind if I put you on the big screen there, buddy?
Yeah, dude. All right, cool, man. Do it up. Yeah.
All right. Let's put Jason on the big screen.
Anyone who's not familiar with Criminal, if you buy the individual single issues, it has some extra special stuff in every issue in the back that you can't get in the trade. So if you trade weighted it, I would recommend getting the single issues to get little special material in each one. So, that's some incentive, bro. No one else does that. Bro. Ed Brubaker's a smart man. He knows what he's doing. Nice. I also had to pick up this facsimile of Incredible Hulk. I saw it lying around my LCS. Had to get it. You know what I mean? Same thing with I wish it was a true facsimile of this one, but it's just $1 issue. But Swamp Thing #1. Either way, I had to get a reader copy, man. I got to read it. You know what I mean? And also, same thing with the True Believers X-Men Apocalypse. They had this also in my LCS laying around.
God, I remember reading those X Factors back in the day, baby. I've still got. I think I've got 1 through 5 still. I sold 6 at one point, but I got 1 through 5.
Dude, in Baltimore, I almost bought a first appearance of Apocalypse, which of course is this issue. I almost got that, but it's pretty cheap. You can get for like $20, $30. You know what I mean? For decent condition. And of course, from last week, I had to pick up Dark Knight Multiverse, the first issue. Nice
square bound.
Yeah. I forget what they're called. I want to say Premiere or
square bound, right?
No, it has a name. I want to say Prestige format. I think it's called Prestige format. I think. But yeah, that's the name for those that have a spine. But yeah, that's all I got today. And what'd you guys pick up?
I went Marvel heavy today. Wait, I'll wait. I'm backstage. He's hiding me. I went Marvel heavy today. So I'm going to share my one indie book, and then I'll run through my Marvel books. I gave another issue of Second Coming a go here.
Yeah, what issue is that? 4?
This is 4. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing a 5 or 6 issue miniseries. At this point, I think I'm just going to stick it out. This one was much better than issue 3, which I didn't love. I love issue 1, I think the best still. It's just the funniest. The satire is just so good.
I love Mark Russell. I really enjoyed 1 and 2. I didn't get to read 3 yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
So for me, like, I wanted satire. Of course, I want deeper meaning and message and all that stuff. But issue 1 really nailed the satire. Issue 2, a little lesser so. Issue 3 was just heavy and powerful, big ideas. But I was like, woo, if the rest of it's going to be this heavy, I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. Issue 4 starts off hilarious with like this superhero self-help group. And they're complaining about how they're not as cool as the main superhero, the Superman guy in the story. They're talking about how all I've got is there's one guy who's like, all I've got is this boomerang. And like, I'm not cool. I can't fly around. He's got all the powers. All I got is a boomerang. So like the self-help group stuff I thought was really funny. And then all through it, the one superhero girl in the self-help group they're all trying to help the superhero find Jesus because Jesus is gone and is missing. And she's constantly saying, you should just check jail. He's probably in jail. And they don't search jail. They keep going. She's like, he's probably in jail, you guys. And of course, at the end, they stumble upon the fact that, he is actually in jail. They need to find him in jail. And of course, Jesus in jail, what happens with Jesus in jail? I find that all very entertaining. So I did enjoy this issue a fair amount. And awesome. I'm definitely going to stick it out. 5 or 6. If it's 5 or 6, they got my money at this point.
That's great. Mark Russell also did the You're the Villain episode of The Riddler. It was a one issue thing. It was really good. I recommend that. He's
got a great sense of humor. I'll tell you, it's really fun.
Oh, yeah, he has great political satire. He's known for that. Yeah, his Snagglepuss series also that's one of my underrated comics from last year. It was only like a 6 or 7 issue miniseries, but man, he also wrote the Flintstones. I heard it was good. I got to check that out. But man, that Snagglepuss had really great social political commentary around I think it took place around the 70s or 80s, maybe in the 60s. It deals with a lot of sexuality things. I always say it's more for teens and adults, but man, it was solid hitting stuff, great stuff. It was almost like reading poetry too at some points. It was great. It's awesome. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he balances on the best issues in here. He balances theme and story and sort of the mood of the piece, which is both comedy and really big, powerful ideas about humanity.
Awesome.
So it's well balanced. I forgot we didn't run through the chat, so I'm just going to run through real quick before I do my
a quick shout out to Kenny Comic Kid 84 because he said nice shirt in the chat. Because he wore his same Shadow shirt yesterday. Of Baltimore, and we're shirt homies. We what was his name? Steranko. It's a Steranko shirt. Steranko. The ladies selling the booth. They were set up, I guess, the year or two prior next to Steranko, and they asked him, "It's like, oh, we have a bunch of shirts that have comic books on the shirts, what cover do you want to see, Steranko?" He's like, I want to see Shadow, this one in particular. So this is his favorite cover of all time. So, Comic Head 84 knows what's up, man. I had to snatch one up. I was right next to JD when the lady told me the story. So, yeah, dude, so awesome. So, what a great shirt.
And it was a great moment with Steranko for yourself as well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we'll say that later. Go ahead, shout the chat out, John.
Okay. So in the chat, we got JP Budget Collecting already making fun of me before we started about being late. And of course, Chris Barrett and Comic Core Chad, although that's probably you, JD, as the Comic Core in there.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, apologize, I was a little bit late.
JP says, gathering troops, a.k.a. waiting for John. So thank you for that. Comic Man Andy, one of the Comic Core homies that we hooked up with in Baltimore. I probably shouldn't say hooked up with, but met up with.
Pinkies up.
Pinkies up. Jason Smith, hello to you. HAQ79. Exploding Earths Comics dropped a great video today. So if you guys don't have time right now, you should make time later on to check out that video. They did a great job. Let's see. Kenny Comic Head in the chat, like we mentioned. Borinkin Comics and Mastodon. Donnie, loved hanging out with you, man. Looking at Lego minifigures, and I was so bummed that I wasn't there to be in the sort of background when he was going live and doing some of those interviews, because he showed up right at the end and did a couple great interviews. And we need more Mastodon in the world.
We do need more Mastodon.
Absolutely. Bueller's in the chat. Thank you, Mr. Sir. Matt Dotzko, that's a new name for me. Good to see you. He said, anyone get Batman Beyond this week? I heard people really looking for that book. It's like some hot book right now. You got to watch
the first female Batman Beyond, right?
Yep.
That's the stuff. That's cool.
I've been hearing about that book.
All right.
Jack Yo in the chat, and Perry Comics, and we got Just a Rican. I was on with those guys yesterday on Rod's channel. Fun show looking at what came out today. And Hudat in the chat. Good to see you. The Gray Man, and that is it.
Yeah, what's up, the Gray Man? Gray Man, some UK love, some metal UK love. I love the Gray Man. Also, is that Batman Beyond? I know it's the first female Batman Beyond, but also technically that's the first female Batman, right? Because we have Batwoman, we have Batgirl, but this is Batman Beyond, so it's still the Batman name. I don't know, something to think about.
Cool. So I skipped all DC today, so I would not know about any of that. I looked at the DC list today, and I was just like, I'm trade weighting it on what is it, Curse of the White Knight. I'm trade weighting it on that for sure.
All right.
And what I spent that money on instead, my King Thor and my trade weighted it money all went to Lethal Protectors, the Absolute Carnage. So. Nice. My LCS got all the connecting covers for me. They held them off for me.
Dude, those are sick.
Issue 3, they're really cool.
Yo, can you supersize this, JD?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. On its way. I just wanted to see that because it reminds me of those Venomized done by Bagley on that Cullen Bunn Venomized. Was it a 4 or 5 part?
So I'll try my best to hold them all up together.
Dude, those are beautiful. Wow, is that what's his name?
And boom.
The dude that did Infinity Wars. The dude that did Infinity Wars. What's his name?
I honestly don't know.
Dugan? Jerry Dugan? Jerry Dugan's a writer. Yeah, so Jerry Dugan kind of has a bunch of people that he works with primarily. So there's like Tedesco. There's a bunch of people like that. I wonder who that is.
So
I met the artist. The guy that did Infinity Wars.
Yeah, I really love
that one right here.
Cult of Carnage, which was one of the Web of Venom kind of standalone issues, and it was the one when John Jameson and Misty Knight are investigating what's happening in this weird town where this cult is kind of like rising or pulling people out of their graves that might have had the symbiote in them at some point. And then when Absolute Carnage started, they had that shot in a news screen where it showed like the bodies, the mass grave, right?
Yeah.
So we saw in that one that John Jameson gets taken over by Carnage, and we don't know where and then all of a sudden in issue 2 of Absolute Carnage there, he shows up in the hallway of the, Ravencroft or Ravencraft
Asylum? The asylum.
So the entire Lethal Protector storyline, these 3 issues, which third one dropped today, all takes place at the asylum and in the sewers underneath. Where they've got Misty Knight, and they're using
Demi-Goblin
Scream to bring back Demi-Goblin. They're sacrificing her and then blending Demi-Goblin and her together,
right?
To make a female Demi-Goblin.
Yeah, Demi-Goblin. Yeah,
and they want it to feed on Misty, and Misty uses her robotic arm to get away.
Yeah.
and then they basically treat Man-Wolf like a bloodhound, and they attach tendrils to him so that Demi-Goblin can run through the sewers tracking her scent to try to hunt her down. She uses a phone to call for backup, and that's all these guys: Iron Fist and Morbius.
Awesome.
And you get the Cloak and Dagger, and Deathlock shows up. And so this was like the big battle where all those guys go down in the sewers to try to rescue Misty Knight from John Jameson.
The cover artist is the same guy that did Savage Avengers, right? It's his last book.
I don't know.
Sure. I forgot his name. His name's slipping me. It's always on the back of my mind, but for some reason it's slipping me. It's killing me.
What was the question?
The Savage Avengers artist. That's his last book. I'm pretty sure the same guy that did the covers of those. He's also in Infinity Wars.
The first Savage Avengers, I got that. I got that Perillo variant, the one.
Oh man! All right. Yeah.
AJQ
it's killing me. It's killing me. All right. I'll
John's describing my
Somebody in the chat, look up who did the Lethal Protector, Absolute Carnage,
connecting covers. Yeah.
Who did the artwork for it? If it's Jerry Duggan, does have like a.
I mean, I can open
artist,
I
and he
can
did
open
more-
one up and just.
Hmm.
I'm sure it's got to be
It
in
is
here.
killing me. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Cover artist, is it Coelho? Iban Coelho?
Oh, that's not who I was thinking
Jason
of. Dang.
Keith?
Yep.
Yeah, those are the two. Sorry, the connecting covers. There it is. Is Greg Smallwood.
That's it. Smallwood.
That's who
He
it
also
is.
did
There you
Moon
go.
Knight. He did Moon Knight, Lemire's the Moon Knight. Oh,
Yep.
so good, dude. Yeah, he's
got a
amazing.
few,
I guess the last thing he's ever doing is Savage Avengers. That's his last work for Marvel. I think he's quitting comics.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
So I dig it. I dig the story. I think it was a whole lot of fun. I liked seeing how Carnageized Man Wolf behaves and how he's trying to fight the urge to follow everything Carnage says. I think it was a really cool storyline for him, and I think it's going to lead into where he is now on that Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda,
cool.
which is cool too, and I'm enjoying that as well
Yeah.
because it's got the freaking Sentry, man.
Right. Yeah, I've only read the newest Absolute Carnage issue. I got to read all the newest tie-ins from last week.
Sure.
And then I missed everything from last week because we're so busy trying to do Baltimore Comic-Con. And then I missed everything from this week. So I have 2 weeks of comics to catch up on. I have so much to read and do and like no time. Should we do the recap real quick? I'm on 7% on my laptop before I got to get out of here.
Let's do you.
All right, cool. So I interviewed Jeff Lemire, which is awesome. You know, if you turn to the Comic Core, you can see that fun interview that I had. I was geeking out hardcore. I could barely talk. But before that, I gave him my long sleeve shirt. It was a Twin Peaks shirt. He liked it. So I was like, here, man, you can just have it. And then he also signed my Blue Rose magazine. It's a Twin Peaks fan magazine. He signed that. So pretty cool. He did a little logo of Twin Peaks there. And then my homie Rylan Grant, nominated and winner this year for Best Villain. He's also creator of Aberrants and Banjax. Dude, I'm so mad that our JD and I interviewed Rylan Grant and the microphone was disconnected before the interview.
I know.
So I had the microphone.
You can't hear.
Yeah, I had the microphone from the laptop and not the actual Yeti mic. So man, it's so hard to hear. You hear everyone laughing and stuff outside of the booth. So unfortunately, that didn't come out so well. But Rylan Grant also we did our Monday night show on Sunday with Whitewell Comics, Comic Head 84, and Rylan Grant. And he went dollar bin diving with us. So we looked for a bunch of dollar comics together and did that. And that mic and sound audio was great. So check out that video. It says it's titled, I believe, Sunday night or Monday night on Sunday. We'll have to retitle it and say featuring Rylan Grant because he's a celebrity, man. He won. He wins awards. That's what he does. But he gave me Banjax, one of the best comics out there, and he signed it and he did a little doodle of the robot from Rocky IV, and he says, Paulie F's this.
So hashtag.
Yeah, it's a hashtag. Yeah,
Paulie F Brothers.
Yeah, it's a running joke we're huge Rocky IV fans, and that's the robot that we're talking about. That is also a character in Banjax, which is amazing. So hilarious. If you love Rocky IV, check it out. His homie and hotel roommate is David Papose, who writes Going to the Chapel, and he signed this exclusive Baltimore Comic-Con cover. And this one is also exclusive Baltimore Comic-Con cover. So pick this up, Rocky IV variant, and this beautiful, beautiful variant as well that he signed for me. Going to the Chapel is great. It's a romantic comedy and mixed in with like Reservoir Dogs. So fun for everyone. If you're not familiar with David Papose, he also did Spencer and Locke, which is amazing. There's 2 volumes of that. It's like Calvin and Hobbes meets Criminal. It's like detective plus like comic throwback of like the funny papers in the Sundays, but like dark and tragic. It's so good. If you think Tom King has a great writing on personal issues of PTSD, check out Spencer and Locke and you'll think differently. Like, man, this guy has it down. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with going to the Chapel. Also, we made friends across the booth with Xenoscope. Xenoscope, publishing company. They're doing some great stuff. I really liked. I think it was called.
They look great.
Yeah. They had some great artists, great writers. They have a connecting universe as well that I'm not very familiar with, but their newest stuff that I really like. One's called The Watcher. It's a 3-issue miniseries, and it has a lot of like dark cult stuff. Really cool. It's almost like a teenage drama at the same time. But the guy there, he helps run the company. He gave me this Grim Universe preview, and it's kind of a rundown of a lot of little mini stories, introduction to the Zenescope world. So I'm excited to read this and dive into it. And he also wrote one of the stories, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. And part of our dollar bin diving I did with our homie Grant. I made a meme of this before, but it was what if no one watches The Watcher? And it's a Marilyn Monroe cover.
I love that cover.
Good, dude. I had to get this for $1. You kidding me? Oh, Best Buy. I've only seen that in meme format. I've never seen it physically, so I had to get that. Also, you guys know I love getting covers with Batman holding guns, and I found 3 this weekend that I've never seen before. So one is Detective Comics $5.99. It's this nightmare-lookish Batman that's like drilling like ooze or toxic stuff, and he's holding this big ass gun right here. That's pretty cool.
Looks like him and Venom had the same lunch,
right? Yeah, that's called Blind Justice. This one it says Batman and Green Lantern, Brave and the Bold. It says do not hesitate, kill. And he's about to shoot the Green Lantern. That's pretty cool. And then one last one, World's Finest, Batman Superman. Number 164, but it says no Superman, Batman, don't shoot her, killing is against our code. Superman says, butt out, Robin, she discovered our secret identities. Batman says, so I'll make sure she never talks. But they're both holding like laser guns. So why Superman would need a laser gun, I don't know. But hilarious, no logic there, but great stuff. I was so excited to find those. To finish up my little bin diving, I got the Amazing Spider-Man cover where he's just revolting against the police. A little anarchist Spider-Man there, which is also
why is he trashing the police
profile picture. It's a profile picture that I made photoshopped of this same cover for my profile picture on Facebook.
Take a look too on that cover. There's the guy behind the fountain whose foot and his pants are the same. There's like one piece.
Yeah, his foot's in the fountain. Good. Actually,
like his pants. Yeah, it's a shoddy bit of shading there.
Yeah, so good. Also, JD gave me this Swamp Thing. Awesome, dude. Thank you, JD, for giving me this, and also thank you for giving me the MF Doom vinyl record right there. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. You also gave me this one too. I'm curious to read this. It looks.
I gave you the Batman. The Batman.
Oh, that's right.
Batman Green Lantern. The Batman shooting Green Lantern.
Yes, that's okay, cool. And then also from Jeff Lemire, I also got this Royal City signed. It's Sonic Youth cover of Goo, that album. Kokan Joe gave me this Ghost Rider variant. Very nice. He gave everyone in the Comic Corps a comic right off the bat. And then I had some fun 90s comics I got with Ryland Grant. The only one I want to show off really is this one, the Punisher Back to School special. In a joke, it says this is very foreboding back to school special with a Punisher shootings. Very very dark humor there, and I had to laugh. And Drew Man Chu said he must have came from watching Joker. I was like, that's very funny.
Oh my God, JP is killing it. JP says Perry has almost 900 subs, and 53 of them aren't his own other channels.
Awesome.
Oh my God, JP, that's hilarious.
Also cool.
I've been putting people in timeout all through this show.
Oh, really?
People are trying to. Perry started a joke that he believes that Brendan Fraser in The Mummy is better than Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones.
Nice.
Now he's got people in the chat who think it's funny to put the little, Exactly. So anybody who's saying Fraser is better than Ford, I've been dropping them into timeout. So
that's awesome.
You suck it. You're not going to be able to blaspheme Indiana Jones in my chat. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
I do love the first 2 Mummy movies. They are fun. You can't compare it to Indiana Jones. You can't compare it to Indiana Jones, though.
I'm just going to point out that he is legitimately playing Harrison Ford in those other movies. Totally. Like it is an homage to Harrison Ford. You can't possibly say that it's better. So I'm sorry. Those people can make their jokes, but I'm sorry. I got to time out Perry again.
Facts. Perry, facts.
Hi, Perry.
Come
back as one of your other people.
as other people know, that I collect Vampirilla covers from the 70s from Warren Magazine, mostly covers done by Enric. And this one he did one for Eerie Magazine. So
that's such a great cover.
I love this cover so much. But I got it for $5. So can't beat
and
that.
You got what Eerie number is that?
Eerie number 37. To get this on eBay, it's usually like 20 or 30 or $50.
Yeah, I would say the average time I see those, you're spending a minimum on a 9 grade would be in the like 30s to 40s.
Oh, they're a lot, and for a 9 grade, and it's a lot more than that. Yeah, because it's a white border, so it's hard to find a white border. Yeah, they're always really dirty. It's really hard to find a really pristine one. And then also, oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I got 3% left, so I'm almost out of here.
And that one.
Yeah, we lost him.
Okay, there we go.
Shout out to Samantha Beach. Samantha Branch. Sorry. Thanks for coming by. I haven't seen you in the chats in a long time.
What's up, Great Legends? All right, so I'm on 3% battery life, so I'm going to be out of here real soon, any second now. So I got this from Jeff Lemire, original drawing, hand drawn by Jeff Lemire of Nick Cave. One of my favorite musicians, and we talked about his show. Jeff Lemire caught him on tour, and I caught him a month before he saw him on tour. So that was really cool to get that from Jeff Lemire. Also, this print from Steranko, which he signed as well, up here in the corner. Very, very nice autograph in gold. Beautiful.
Well, didn't you give Jeff Lemire your shirt?
I did give Jeff Lemire my shirt.
So he gives you a beautiful piece of artwork, and you give him a dirty piece of laundry.
No, it was fresh, dude. I wore it once. I wore it that day. Gave it right off my back to him. And
take my shirt. Just sign my chest, Lemire.
Yeah. So I got this print. I paid for it, but he gave me his handler gave me like an autographed comic that he did. I forgot what it was.
I'm just throwing shade, brother. It's funny. I thought it was great.
That was nice, but oh man, I got the raw deal out of that. But so yeah, Steranko print. Dude, the last print he had of it. The last print
that
he
up,
had
JD. That's
the last one. It is beautiful.
I love that.
I love it so much. And he had the original art of this
the robot and the
show.
lady and oh my god.
Oh, it's amazing.
Gorgeous.
So, excited to get that signed and talk to Steranko. Great dude. Also, the last one from Neil Adams, he made this from New York Comic Con. He made 50 of them. And I got the last one, and it was the display copy. And of course, he signed it. Him and his wife were laughing about that, and so cool. So I had a great time. Also, from Ryland Grant, my homie, new best friend, he gave me this big, huge, giant, invincible Iron Man from Bob Layton. This thing is gigantic and heavy as hell, dude.
Holy crap.
I think
they're hard to find. I've never seen it in person. I
think this was a prize that they gave to him for winning, like the Ringo Award. And he's like, I don't have nothing to do with this, and I can only take so many things home. So, like, you want it? He's like, here you go, man, it's for you. I was like, really, dude? You kidding me? He's like, yeah, right here. He's like, oh, dude, thank you. So, like, this thing is huge. I'm scared to open it. I'm scared to open it. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. So, huge shout out to Ryland Grant. We gotta have him on again on the show. We gotta have him on Comic Core sometime. We did our stuff on Comic Cast. Bring him on to Comic Core. We gotta have a good time. Yeah. Dude. So that's my little spiel of what I got. And we had our exhibitor pass. But yeah, that's it. So I'm on 1% life. So I gotta say goodbye to the Comic Core for tonight until I get my charger back. But I had a great time. I love you guys. I miss you guys so much. And also, let's please talk about
Paul,
Moira,
our homie Paul and his daughter. And also, we're gonna put the link up soon for donations. So please help out Paul and his daughter soon. They're in our thoughts and prayers. So much love to the Comic Core. I love you guys, and love to the chat, all our comic book community. But I'm out. I love you guys.
Thanks, Jason. Peace.
All right, let me shout out some folks because Seawood came in. Thank you, Seawood. TJ the Slab Dragon says, John, I'm so proud of you. You put Perry in the corner. Great Legend is driving. Stay safe, brother. It is awesome to have you in the chat and listening to the show. We're running through right now, folks, with some things we got in Baltimore Comic Con, and I've got 3 books left, the best 3 that I read this week.
Go ahead.
And Bob World came by as well. So thank you all for coming by. Okay, so the best 3 for the week for me: Valkyrie, Jane Foster, issue 4 came out this week. This was excellent. I think issue 3 might still be my favorite. The sort of goodbye to Heimdall was a great issue. JD, did you read the 3rd issue yet?
I have not read 3. I did read issue 2. I mean, I actually think Valkyrie is like scary good, like secretly good.
Yeah,
because I don't think it gets enough.
You're saying that, and you haven't even read the best issue, because I do think the Heimdall goodbye issue is. I'd be surprised if you weren't brought to tears by it. It's a send off to a character that is perfect.
Yeah,
you know. And then this one sets up some newer stuff. It has a little bit more comedy in it. It was a nice follow up, and you get Mephisto, and Mephisto is hilarious. He's like a Hollywood agent. The way they play him in this, it's just perfect. It's my favorite version of Mephisto I've seen in a long time. Since probably Donny Cates.
I actually think that version of Mephisto reminds me of literally it's a Thor Annual 13. If anybody had, I can find it real quick. It's a very 80s style. It's got the Mephisto's in the background, but the way he's portrayed is very similar to that. So
yeah, I mean, it reminded me of what I really loved in the Donny Cates Damnation run with Doctor Strange. And so it definitely builds on what happened to him there. So it's just a really great thing. Then I read and enjoyed Marauders, X-Men's new storyline Marauders with Kitty Pryde.
How did it?
Apparently, I loved this.
Okay.
Apparently, there are mutants that can't go through the gates and can't get to Krakoa. And she is one of them. And she starts leading this band, this ragtag band. And a couple of mutants that we know and love join her. I won't let you spoil who joins the crew, although you can probably find that online. I really enjoyed this. I like Kitty Pryde. I will say it up front. I think she's a great character. And this issue is basically wall to wall her. So I really dug this storyline. I thought they did a great job with her. And that's one that I'm going to read issue 2 for sure. Nice. And then probably my read of the week, which I mentioned on the Buyer Pass show with Just a Rican yesterday, I knew it would be, is this great issue for Immortal Hulk, which felt to me, as much as it was setting up what the next storyline will be, I took it as the dessert at the end of this epic 25 issues.
I wouldn't say it's a conclusion of the book, but it's definitely arc. And I think it's safe to say that the next run is going to be something. I think they go in a different. It's going to be great. I think they're going to bring out, what happens now. Now we know what's going on with everything else. We've gone through gamma bombs and everything else possible, and now we're in a tough situation. And I actually want to see where this is going. I firmly believe that this is going to be something pretty impressive. So.
Well, I'm going to probably stop pulling Immortal Hulk and just read it in the trade or read it in Unlimited. I'm going to stop at 25. I think that's a lot for me on any run. I've enjoyed it a great deal, but I want to get my money onto other books and that I'll enjoy just as much. Matt Dotska and several others making jokes about the gates. So she can't go through the gates literally. She walks up to those little doorways that mutants are supposed to just pass through, and she hits it like it's a wall. So it's not I just need somebody to get me through to I need a permission slip or something. It's she physically can't. It's the one thing that Kitty Pryde can't pass through, right? She can phase through anything.
Go through anything.
She can't go through this.
It reminds me of the I think it's 168 X-Men with scrape across the cover.
Okay.
Where she's bloody in there because all of a sudden she couldn't. I always think that what's that, right? Was it 168?
It's something like that, yeah.
And it's she's cut open and she's like this because she couldn't phase.
Yeah.
And remember, she couldn't phase for a little while there. She's in that situation again.
Yeah.
So what happened the last time led to that whole late run of X-Men with her being, remember she joins the X-Men, 3 years before in 139, 138, around that time. after
then she
Phoenix
had that period of time when she was stuck as a ghost and couldn't unphase.
Yep. And then she couldn't unphase. Do they call it phasing for her anymore? I mean,
that's what they call it for her, but at the same time, this is not
vision phasing.
It's not affecting her powers. So she still has her powers all through this, and she uses them in really, really cool ways. There's a couple of fights with like Russian soldiers that she goes through that are really badass. But because she's not allowed to kill, that's one of the rules in Krakoa is mutants don't kill humans, right? She's trying to fight and free mutants all around the world. She can't kill the mutants, the humans that are guarding them, but she can definitely wound a hell of a lot of them. You know, it's like when the Terminator couldn't kill, so he could just shoot people. Everybody gets shot in the knee. He just goes around shooting everybody in the knee. She's pulling a lot of knee shots. But I think she's a great character, and I like the drama of she's not being treated the same as all the other mutants in some way. There's still that ostracizing kind of quality that I dig. And Emma Frost has got a good storyline in it. So yeah, and it ends with a bunch more of the like Mr. Sinister news report, like what is the gossip in the mutant world? You know, one of the issues from Powers of 10, I think, had a list of all the gossip from Mr. Sinister's side of the planet. They end this book with another big pile of like gossip from the Sinister world. I thought was really cool. So that's it. Those are the books I grabbed.
What book are you doing for New Comic Book Day? Are you doing?
We're just doing a Baltimore chat time.
Okay.
Alec and I are going to be talking about Baltimore.
Okay. I'll share what I'm not going to share everything I picked up at Baltimore. I'll share what I picked up because I really didn't pick up much. I'm not going to show you my CGC slabs. That's, you can watch any of the other things I'll show you right now. If you want to know, they were good. But I want to huge what I read. My trip home from Baltimore was quite a bit longer than expected, and I actually might not have been back for this show at some point because at one point, if I did not get on that plane, there was a good chance I wasn't going to get on a plane for a while. There was a lot of everything else. It was just a rough time. I didn't miss a flight or anything else like that. Our plane had massive turbulence, and I live in a one horse town, so that's what happens when you fly in Omaha. Huge shout out to these people and everybody at Baltimore, everybody who was there, everybody who had a great time. Thank you for my experience there. It was a moment of clarity for everyone who said if C2E2 was Comic Core's cameo appearance, this was our first appearance, but we're not done yet. We have a lot more cons coming, and we're going to be around a little bit more. My wife gave me permission to do a minimum of 2 a year of these things, so that's nice.
Yeah, now, I'm going to be in a tough spot asking for round 2 on this, but
I think I get 2 as long as I don't. As long as it's make sure you can get home. Don't. Because
I've got 2 cons that are within an hour's drive of me either way.
That's what we have, yeah.
Pretty big that I could drive to. So the cons that I fly to, it's hard to manage that both from a time and money perspective.
Yeah. What we're doing is we do our family con. We do Planet as a family every other year, and then as a couple every other year. So we did that. Last year was a couple. I think this year, though, because our kids are getting older, we could take them, but they're also getting older and getting really pain in the assy too. So we probably are better off going alone for that one, leaving that one with the in-laws. Pour one out for JD. Am I phasing in and out on you?
No, you're doing good. You're doing all right.
All right, because I have we have a great internet service here, but they put this LED stuff or this LED thing that we've discovered in the house, which is just, I live in an old warehouse, so these things are blocking internets in various spots, so we're getting dark spots. So I need to get a lot of boosters to see if that'll work. So let me get into this right now. First shout out is the book that got me through. I will say this book got me through the hardest time when I was looking up, and they said, when I heard that the Omaha flight was canceled, then I heard that my flight to Charlotte was canceled, and then I was literally almost on a flight to Spirit to Indianapolis, to Michigan, back down. But anyway, Kat Wren, thank you so much for this. I waited a year to get this book because she told me you got it, and I wasn't going to read it there. I did read it, including the new Swamp Thing story, including it does close with the appearance of the second half of Swamp Thing 1. So it's great. I've already read it. And shout out to Spider Grandpa. Somebody man knows I love some Doctor Strange, and to Drew Manchu knows I love Doctor Strange. and got me this little bad boy here. And this is an interesting book here. It's called Gutter Magic. And honestly, Drew Manchu, he knows his stuff. He's one of the best reviewers in the business whatsoever. And he compared this to a book that I'm a big fan of. And you're damn right it is. It's very steampunky and everything else going on, which I just think it's kind of cool what they're doing. But you've got artwork in here like I like and everything going on. And it's just a great book. It's from Source Point Press. I really appreciate it. Source Point Press was a good show there. People like to see artwork. I know that. So if you watch Golden Guys, you're going to get a repeat. If you didn't, there. From Buzz, Bernie Wrightson's, what do you call that? Bernie Wrightson's protege forever.
Oh, okay.
Towards the end of his, when he was doing stuff there. This is from him. He did this for my kids. That's not a sketch cover. That is a sketch cover, but it's hand drawn. Great guy. He will be coming on Unlimited sometime in the future, we hope.
Nice.
To discuss what exactly, where did the Bernie Wrightson homage, the new covers for the new art stuff come from? And he knows the whole story. And what he did was amazing. We have some more sketch covers here. I know I was moving them around because people wanted to see them. I was taking pictures for people. Hopefully they're not too far because I don't think they are. But we'll get to that probably later on. I'm looking here. I did get a book signed by Greg Land, and him and I talked about commission work and stuff like that. This is one of my favorite works for him. And Greg and I've contacted Greg before on his Iron Man cover. He signed for me a while back. It's one of my favorite covers he did was for that kind of second leg Iron Man run in, I think, 2005. It was around when I was trying to get into Iron Man again, and it was good. It was a good run. Great art. Art was better than the writing. Sorry. At least I'm honest about that. I mean, that's exactly my opinion really doesn't matter when it comes down to that kind of stuff. The modern books. The older books, take for what you will. Probably full of shit most of the time on that one, too. But was one other. I put a lot of my commissions away because I was doing I was getting ready for my next thing, which is all the different covers I have behind me. But everybody's asking, what else did I do? One huge thing about the con was I did get a Francisco Francavilla sketch cover, and it's right over there, and I'll get it later on. I know that somebody wanted to see it who came over. So I'll show that. And I got an amazing Doctor Strange cover. I'm going to show that as well in a little bit. If
you got some, it was amazing. I wasn't expecting it, but there were so many people in the core group there that were getting sketch covers or drawings in sketchbooks or buying original art. Like the art game was on fire. And I've never bought anything like that. I think I bought one sketch cover in a YouTube auction, and that was it. I've been gifted 2 pieces of original art, but I've never purchased one for myself. So it was amazing to see all that happening. Of course, I did technically purchase this for Thanatos.
That was, you have to show that.
Yeah, I did purchase this, but it's not mine.
But you are going to hold that hostage for a little while to do a live show with him again, correct?
I really should. That's a genius idea. So this was for Matt Thanatos. If you don't know Thanatos, he's got a great channel, Thanatos Comics, and he is a huge Adam Hughes and Zatanna and Green Lantern fan.
I'm going to put you on the big screen so everybody can see that, because you don't often see an Adam Hughes sketch cover. Just literally, he is amazing for this.
Yeah. So hang on. Thanatos sent me this blank Green Lantern #1 from the Morrison run, and he asked me to get Zatanna on it and to have it colored by Allison, Adam Hughes' wife, who does great color work. And so it just came out beautiful. The depth and skin tone is so hard to see, but it's just, she did a great job coloring this. And he usually doesn't leave eyes open on the characters he draws. But of course he did that here. And then I love the exclamation mark next to Matt's name. I thought it was just phenomenal. So it was just a lot of fun. He was really, the line was brutal long for him, but he was just really, really friendly. And Allison was incredibly nice. So I'm trading this to Matt for a slab. And that was the bargain. And I will show you that slab on White Whale's Comics show tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you want to know what I got for this, better tune into Alex's show tonight. But this was beautiful, so I'm mailing this out this week. But I wanted to show it off today and make sure that I got to hang with it as long as possible because I really did envy it, and it makes me want to get a couple of those at some point later.
Excellent. Sorry, I was just moving things around. Okay, let me bring it back to everybody.
So for me, like the original art and the sketching and all that stuff, like it was amazing to see all of that stuff, and it made me think a little bit about getting into that a little bit. It could be a lot. And there's artists whose commission rates are really reasonable considering how talented and infamous they all are.
Yeah, I will say that if you go with the legend, if you go with not great legend, but shout out, hashtag Tasha get fiber. If you get a sketch by somebody who's older in the industry that doesn't like Simonson doesn't really charge for sketch. He just doesn't have time for him, but he'll just give you a head sketch on it. And he's really good, really reasonable. He asks for heroes like George Perez and everybody else. Starlin, those guys. It's Heroes Initiative, and I will say hashtag Heroes Initiative. That is I would say that is the greatest thing the Corps does outside of what we do with everybody in the community. Outside the community, working with the Heroes Initiative kind of brought up this factor that we really like this stuff. Now, a lot of people I'm getting messages. I don't understand what Pray for Moira is. We're going to get into that in a little bit.
We're just a couple minutes away from that for sure.
Yeah, we're going to shut down this and come right back with 2 guests. So we're going to have a little discussion with everybody here and give you guys an update on what's going on with our situation with there. So the sketch cover situation was just such an amazing thing, and I really shout out to. This was one of those cons where everybody was walking around with art, and I get into that because then somebody would come over to me and says, "Who should I go to get this?" And I would be like, "I'd go to him, or I'd go to them, I'd go to that person," right. And it's great because then I get called when I go, "Hey, thanks for sending that guy over," or something like that. I don't get anything out of it. I said, "No. You are here to make money. I don't care. Your quality of work alone is what I'm going for."
Well, like you said, most of these guys and gals, there's a Hero Initiative portion to this, right? Where they've got the jar out there and money is going to go towards some of those things. When I got my signatures from guys like Klaus Janson, or I got my signatures from Marv Wolfman, they all just said it's $5 a signature, but the money just goes in this jar. It doesn't go to me. It just goes in there.
Yeah, George Perez used to carry around this little satchel everywhere, and just filled with just drop in cash left and right. And that's when it was great for that. Now, if you go get a sketch by somebody like a Neil Adams or a Jim Steranko, their commission lists are like 2 or 3, or Kevin Nolan are like 3 or 4. To me, Kevin Nolan's a legend, there's some of them are really busy. But there are some guys like Brett Beating and guys that were just Brett Beating. And there was so many great guys that were just drawing. And I believe we cleaned up on original art. We cleaned up on books as a group. It was a great experience for our first appearance con.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time we actually did a con.
And Mike Zeck is one of those guys with a commission list, but he does great stuff, and his commission rates are really reasonable, I think, overall, from what I could see. And he's somebody that I would consider going to for getting a commission piece to say, like, I love his Dr. Doom. I would get a wicked cool Dr. Doom colored, done by him. I would do that in a heartbeat. So that might be my next big save up at a con that he's going to. I might just say, I got to get on that Zeck commission list and get me a Dr. Doom.
Okay. Mike Zeck doing that one. Mike Zeck's rates were very reasonable for his level.
Yes.
The most expensive thing you can ever ask an artist to do is a cover recreation.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, a cover recreation of something they did is kind of cool. I like doing mashups, obviously. Like there was something on my Instagram today of 2 seconds later after Silver Surfer 4 happened.
Right.
And it's hysterical. I have the perfect guy I want to commission that to when we go to C2E2. I know exactly who's going to be there, and I've already emailed him, says, you have a job to do. I want something. I want to know like this, like show me what happens here. Make your own version of what happens. And that's one of the things I always say. I tell everybody the best way to get the best sketch from anybody possible. There's 2 things. One, if you want something extremely specific, be specific. and that's a big key there. If just tell them, because they're going to ask you as many questions. You can be specific. Now, if you don't get what you want, don't be afraid to tell them that. You have that right as a consumer and as an artist. Some people may not take it the right way. Some may take it a totally different way. I like people that critique it. You know, I know somebody who gave me a sketch who didn't like what they did for me. I liked it. They didn't like it, and I got home, and next thing you know, they sent me their Inktoberfest. That's how I got that Winter Soldier, because she didn't like what she did for me. And it's Megan Levins, who's an icon to me, because she's a local one, and everybody who goes to Planet Comic Con knows her. She's doing stuff. She's working with Star Wars now, but she actually did her own book with Gail Simone for a long time. So,
really?
And she's phenomenal. And I think Gail's an underrated writer today. I think some of her work. I like that one that she does, Crossfire.
Okay.
I did like it. And Crosswind, I think it was called Crosswind. I think she was Crosswind. But we're gonna do something a little bit here. I know it's a little rushed, but we're gonna get into this thing because we want to get about at least 20 minutes of your time before John's gonna start his show. So we are going to come out and come right back. Please stay here. 36 people. Let's do this. You're not going to want to miss this. We're going to talk to you. We're going to have the great legend here. Hashtag Tasha Get Fiber. And we're going to do this. And the Pray for Moira is, just to let you know, my brethren, our guy, Paul, his daughter in school on a Friday. All of a sudden she got a little sick, and now she's had open heart surgery that quickly. So we'll get into that and tell everybody. Crosswind. Thanks, JP. Yeah, JP would know. He likes that's his Crosswind. It's an underrated book. I think it started off really well, and I just don't know where it was going for a little while, but it was a great beginning. So I will wait to do that part.
Yeah, so we're sending a lot of prayers, and we're going to have links for helping out, and all that's going to happen in the next show. But we just want to make sure that Paul knows we're all supporting and there for him and his daughter. And it's the nightmare scenario for any parent.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't. It's been on all of our minds today and in all of our thoughts today. And so this will be a powerful little sending of goodwill, I think, here from the Comic Corps.
Okay, so I just got news. Great legend, thanks you. We're going to end this broadcast, and we're going to start a new link. I guess everybody has to just, I don't know, Chad's setting up a new chat to discuss this.
We'll send out a little link, and then we'll all log in.
All right, so everybody stay tuned. We're going to do a special little thing for Paul's daughter, and we're going to talk to you guys in a little bit. All right. So Legend will get you. We're going to have the great Legend on as well as a special guest, and we'll have our discussion, and we're going to reach out to you guys. But at the same point in time, we're going to have a talk about everything as a whole. So
yep.
Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for enjoying the early edition, the matinee portion of the limited part we did. We started a little early here. For everybody, don't expect that in the future, because that was pretty rough trying to get my kids down out of their bath, their bottles, and get their stories read, and then so we can come down here and everything else. And I promise I want to start reading more to my kids. So maybe I could be as good as this guy on my panel, as my brethren here, Mr. John, comes with kids.
Oh, I blow it Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights, the kids are on their own.
Yeah, but you want to know what? I hope, you know, he's got his girl's a little bit older than my two kids, and my little life destroyers, and they are. I will say this: John has shown me what to do. How I hope my kids are as into it as John has made his kids into it.
It'll happen.
It could be working.
You keep at it, it'll happen.
Yeah, it'll happen, and I think I'm pretty good with it, because there's not a room in their house where they're not playing with something, you know. So
what they're going to be for Halloween.
Oh, the whole family's wear the Spider-Verse, and you'll see pictures. I will be shaving this beard down to a girl. Now I'm going to be Peter B. Parker. Liz, for this time, because I didn't have enough time to do the female Doc Ock. What's her name?
Octavia or something.
Yeah, Octavia. Liv Octavia.
There it is.
he's going to be Penny B. Parker, and my son's going to be Peter Porker, and my daughter's going to be Spider-Gwen. But I think they're going by their own names. They call him Piggy Parker and Pig Spider-Man. That's what they call him.
Chad just sent the link, so we better bump out of here so we can fire it up.
Have a good one. Thanks, everybody. We're going to fire this one up.